On the 28th of January 2024, St Brigid's relics were brought back to Kildare, the place of her original burial, and put on permanent display in the parish church. St Brigid's Day is celebrated on February the 1st, Imbolc, or the first day of spring. This was an important date for our rural ancestors. People would celebrate with a festive meal and a host of customs to ensure Brigid's protection through the coming year. And although things have changed in modern times, there are some who still remember the customs that have endured for centuries.
This is St Brigid of Kildare. Where is Kildare? Let's go have a look. Look, here's Kildare on the map. My lovely nanny was from Kildare.
Like Erin's lovely nanny, I come from Kildare. I am Hilary and I grew up in Newbridge, a town on the edge of the Curragh.
My name is Anne Mead. I come from a little village in County Galway called Tina. Very small village and getting smaller by the day.
My name is Noreen Kellett and I come from County Limerick. Not the city, the county, and we're well out, about 20 miles out into the county.
My name is Mary Hayes, Mora Ní Hay in Gaelic. I hail from County Kerry, Killorglin, which is midway in the county.
My name is Tom Scanlon and I come from a small village in County Clare called Crusheen and lived in the countryside outside the Crusheen village.
My name is Margaret. I come from a little village in County Limerick called Fhéile.
My name is Margaret Bradley. I come from the Loop, County Derry, Northern Ireland.
My name is Ava Hanley and I'm 15 years old.
Let's not forget St Brigid.
Here are some facts about St Brigid. St Brigid was born in 4051 and became a saint in 5025 at the age of 71 upon her death. St Brigid's feast day is on the 1st of February. St Brigid was known for her miracles, including healing and feeding the poor. One of her most famous miracles was turning water into beer. On her feast day, people traditionally weave crosses.
That's right. Also, St Brigid is known as the Mother Saint of Ireland. The daughter of a chieftain who knew her own mind, she defied her father and became a nun. She found 2 religious communities and a school of art that taught people how to do metalwork and draw beautiful illustrations. She's patron saint of many things, including poetry, learning, healing, protection, blacksmithing, livestock and dairy production.
I was familiar with St Brigid's Day and the celebration of the local people, but I'm going back many, many years. And they celebrated that winter was over and that spring was coming. And that was celebrated in pagan times in Ireland as well. And somehow Christianity merged with the old feast days of pagan times and adopted it to the Christian principles and ideas.
This is St Brigid's cross. You will find one in nearly every Irish home.
People believe that St Brigid crossed through the land on the eve of her feast day and gave blessings to homes and farms where crosses were hung in her honour.
St Brigid cross I made last year and my brother is making some for me this year as well.
From about Christmas on, there'll be somebody drawing up and doing the St Brigid's crosses, and somebody would be artistic enough to do that for the people of the community.
When we were in school, in a very small school at the edge of the Curragh, which coincidentally was called Brídhde, which means St. Brigid's School, we learnt about St. Brigid and how she was really important to Kildare. This made us feel quite special because St. Brigid was our saint, so we didn't have to share her with the rest of the country like we did with St. Patrick. And on St. Brigid's Day, we would always arrive into school full of anticipation of making St. Brigid's crosses, which we would make with the reeds that we had previously gathered on the Curragh.
I remember also people used to use the St. Brigid's cross over the doors in the animal shelters or the old houses, the outhouses we used to call them, so that animals were protected by St. Brigid.
One different one was put in a farmyard, one on a boat. My brother makes them, and I've made them over the years as well. My mum and dad made them.
I was quite surprised this morning to see there were so many different designs of the St. Brigid's cross. This is about the only one I remember, so it's nice to know there's different designs.
We all made the rush crosses right up until I left, and then obviously I forgot. But after that, he would send me one or two of them. The reason I started was I was in B&Q or up there, and I bought some soil to put in my garden, and all it grew was rushes. And I made the rushes. That was the first time I really made them here, and I've made them every year since, but I can't find rushes now, and they're not as good as the ones in Ireland.
And what about church?
I can remember very clearly there was always a mass for St. Brigid because I was an altar boy and I served mass. I remember serving mass for St. Brigid's Day for a number of years while I was attending school. And the good bit about that is while I was attending the mass, I didn't have to go to school.
And of course there might be a trip out.
There was a St. Brigid's Well that was in a place called Newhall in West Clare, and people used to go for miles. I'm talking about 10, 12, 15 miles people would go. And how they got there was some people would actually cycle there, and some people would actually go by a pony and trap, or what we used to call a pony and sidecar. At that stage in Ireland, in the countryside, people exchanged the horse and they exchanged the car, and they worked together because it was a poor society. But they did believe very, very, very much on St. Brigid, and the holy water would keep you going for the year. Again, it was right up to Christmas.
Prayers, crosses, holy water. Anything else?
I have no recollection whatsoever of St. Brigid's Day, except for the fact that my mother used to put a pillowcase on the hedge the night before, and my sister does the same thing with a ribbon at the moment. Other than that, we never celebrated St. Brigid's Day.
That must be the brat Brídhde or ribín Brídhde. Some households would leave a small piece of ribbon or cloth on the windowsills or hedges. They believed that St. Brigid would touch the cloth as she passed through the country on the eve of her feast. The cloth was kept all year because people believed that it now had protective and healing powers.
We would have potatoes and onions, and indeed cabbage, and perhaps what we call turnips too, which was Swedes. That was the main dinner. And if we were lucky, if a family were lucky enough to have a turkey or a goose or something left over from Christmas, then that would be on the table as well. So there was a big meal and a celebration and the holy water sprinkled.
Anyone remember the Biddy Boys?
They performed with music and song and dance, and they visited each house in the community. That's a rural community, and the door was always open for them, and they gave a rendering of their music and song in the house, in the kitchen usually. and did a little bit of a polka dance as well.
Oh, so free entertainment then? Apparently not.
A little donation was expected, and that was put together for the purchase of food and drink for a Saturday night, which was called the Biddies Night. And they danced and they sang and they drank all night until morning time. And at morning time, for early mass in the church, they made their way and had mass. It distinguished itself from North Kerry, where they celebrated the Wren Day, and they were called the Wren Boys. They still perform with music and dance at the festival in Kerry, the Rose of Tralee Festival.
St Stephen's Day they ran, and that was the day all the Wren boys came round, and they had all the bushes dressed, right? They had all coloured ribbons on the bushes, and they did the singing and the dancing as well, I can remember that. And we were allowed out to play that day if it wasn't raining, but we weren't allowed to take part in the Wren, because we were told that that was for the poorer children of the parish, and they didn't want us going around in the Wren taking money, because everyone was given money. You called, you got money, and they wanted the money to go to the poorer families.
That all sounds great, but come on, St Patrick's Day became a national holiday in 1903, but St Bridget had to wait till 2022 to have one. Do you think she got a fair deal?
There was a difference between St Bridget's and St Patrick's Day, but in the countryside, I think, to be fair, St Bridget got as much publicity and as much attention as indeed did St Patrick's Day.
There was a mass for I guess there was a mass. I can well remember all the St Patrick's, but not St Bridget's. So she was treated as a second-class citizen, I think.
I think in Ireland she is. They don't celebrate, outside like we do here with St Patrick, and in Ireland, St Patrick's Day is a very big thing.
And why do you think that was?
My father was very busy. It was a small farm, and he was massively busy, and there was no time for organising anything. It was the cows. Christmas Day, he didn't even get off. He had to milk the cows on Christmas Day, I remember. That's what it was like. And that is why she didn't get the recognition she deserved.
So, that's the customs then. But what about the legends? St Bridget's cloak, for example.
The miracle of St Bridget was very special because she created the curragh with her shawl. She had gone to the chieftain of the area and said that she wanted some land, and he said she could have the land that her shawl covered. So she opened up her shawl and it continued to spread until it created the entire area of the curragh. And as small children who went to school on the curragh, that was something we held very dear. So I suppose we were proud of her. She was our saint. We didn't have to share her with anyone else.
Didn't Erin mention something about beer?
The story of St Bridget goes that one day while St Bridget was working in the leper colony, somebody came and told her that they had run out of beer. Brigid was very worried that the lepers would die of thirst, so she prayed to God to turn their bathwater into beer. God answered her prayers and everyone said that the beer was delicious.
And today, we'll meet Susan and Judith Boyle, two sisters from Kildare town, the home of the prize-winning St Bridget's Ale. Women running a brewing company? St Bridget would have been delighted. Sláinte.
I am now going to read a poem about St Bridget, born in Kildare, the heart of the oak, known for her cross and growing her cloak, kind and loving, patron of the arts. On February the 1st, she is in our hearts.
We shouldn't forget that St. Brigid gave around 13,000 nuns the opportunity to be educated through their work, learning new skills like these two young ladies.
Hello, my name is Risha Henley and I'm 11 years old. I go to St. Joseph's Catholic Primary School and I'll be playing Uile in a room.
My granny was called Brídhde, which comes from the name Brigid, and like St. Brigid, she was brave and very kind. She came from Mayo in her 20s. She wanted to do nursing but worked as a care assistant. She was very kind to her patients as she was to everyone she knew. I am going to play Danny Boy because it reminds me of her.
And what does Nolette Hanley, the CEO of Luton Irish Forum, think about St. Brigid?
It's brilliant that there is a matron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick has had his place. It creates a day of national pride in Ireland and abroad. I think St. Brigid's now gives women that feeling of being recognised. It's an opportunity to showcase the good work that is being done in our local communities as well, and I think it's providing some inspiration for generations to come. I think she's a very good example of a strong woman. I think in her, what she's achieved, building monasteries, spreading Catholicism. She's recognised as one of the main patron saints of Ireland, above I think any others really. She's one of the 3 patron saints, I believe now. So she's definitely held her place. So definitely it's our job now to promote Irish culture, and we can do that through the use of St. Brigid's history.
Speaking of generations to come, does Ava, Nolette's daughter, agree?
I think it is important for girls that Ireland has a patron saint. St. Brigid is a good role model for women as she was known to be brave, compassionate and wise. If I could name a modern day saint, it would be someone who shows kindness and compassion. I think that person would have to be Luton Irish Forum volunteer Marianne Curtis.
So there you have it, St. Brigid of Kildare, kind, compassionate and wise. Someone you can relate to, whether you have a religious faith or none, and think of her as a Christian saint or a pagan goddess.
Thank you, St. Brigid, for all that you did. Happy St. Brigid Day to all!
Thank you.